Yeah, I also put brakes on the welding table. It was rolling around a little too easy. The brake pad is actually a piece of a tire. I figured it wouldn't, the screw won't rip through the steel belts as easy. And it runs over to the other side. Yeah, I just got one of these swagoffroad press brake kits. This is the heavy duty kit. And I also bought the press plates. Now, these are like 1.5 inches thick. Okay, the first step is to press these pins halfway through these holes. Okay, now you want to make sure these pins are in here square before you weld them. Yeah, I also made one of these hammers like I saw in Welding Tips and Tricks. And I TIG welded silicon bronze this end, but I decided to TIG weld stainless steel to the other end. And the handle, I had it knurled and welded 2 collars on it instead. Okay, I got both of those pins welded in there. It is a little bit of a challenge to get them welded in there straight, but try to move around. And it's all ground up. The next step is to weld these pieces on. And to keep this piece on the bench perfectly standing upright, I put those magnets on it because the top surface on this piece is not machined off to where it's perfectly flat. Okay, I got those pieces welded on there. It was kind of hard to get it welded on there exactly right to where it'll actually slide up and down on these pieces. Okay, the next step is to weld this piece of angle iron in down here. Now I've already tack welded in all 4 corners. And what I've done is I've clamped this to the table to try to keep it from getting warped when I weld all this up. What I'm going to do is weld about 1 inch on each side and then go back and forth so it doesn't get too hot. Yeah, this is the only piece of metal I had that I could clamp on here. I also sprayed it with this stuff so that hopefully I don't get splatter all over everything. Okay, I got it all welded. And what I did is I made a whole bunch of welds that were about 1 inch long and 2 passes on each side, and then I went back and forth, and it looks like it hasn't warped at all. And I'm using my Lincoln Power MIG 300 for that, not the small one. Yeah, and this is the piece you're supposed to weld to the top right here, but my press is much bigger, so I got a bigger one that I'm going to weld on there. Yeah, I just took and TIG welded over that set screw that was in here, since I won't need that anyways, before I weld this piece on. Yeah, I got that piece welded on. I took and welded some pieces of 3/8 inch metal in here, since this one's so much bigger. It's got a better surface for it to hit against on the top. Yeah, I just took and drilled into these top pieces and welded these nuts on it, so I can put these bolts and washers on here. So when you pick it up, this top piece can't fall off. And the reason I didn't just drill into that and tap it is this can take up to 5/8 inch thick metal, and it'd be a tight fit getting it in there. Then it can come up a little bit higher. Yeah, I just got some 1/2 inch round bar, and I'm going to make handles for this, which I saw in another video, because this thing is real heavy, but I'm going to go try it out first. Okay, this is a 1.5 inch flat bar that's 1/4 inch thick. I don't have any real thick stuff to try this out on right now. And I also had some 3/4 inch plate. I made these plates to go underneath it, because it's supposed to be supported real well all the way across. Yeah, it bends pretty good. Yeah, I got the handles welded on. Now I think I'm going to take this apart and paint it, but I won't paint the inside the dies and those guide rods. Yeah, VW Darren, if you're watching that, these press plates from Swag Off-Road, they stand up in here real easy. Yeah, they're 1.5 inches thick. Yeah, you might want to check out their website. Okay, and here's what it looks like when it's all done.